Somebody help me, please.
Hello? Anybody there?
Please, my daughter, come and help me. I'm tired.
Who's that? Mama, are you okay? Mama, let me help you to carry the load, okay?
Oh, thank you, my child.
She was tired beyond words and painfully hungry, walking alone through the thick forest to gather firewood so she could sell it and eat. Her body was weak, but she kept moving. Then she noticed an elderly woman ahead of her, bent over and shaking as she tried to carry a huge load of wood on her head. Without thinking twice, the young girl rushed forward to help. She lifted part of the wood and followed the woman all the way to her home. Out of deep gratitude, the old woman gave her a necklace with strange power. What the girl did not know was that this single gift would completely change her destiny. Let me tell you her story. Halima woke up at exactly 4:00 a.m., as she always did. The night was still heavy and dark. Her whole body ached deeply. Her stomach twisted sharply from hunger. She had not eaten for 2 full days. Slowly she sat up from the mat on the floor. The mat was thin, old, and rough, almost the same as lying on bare ground. Her hut was very small. The walls were made of mud, cracked all over like dry land during Harmattan. When rain fell, the roof leaked badly. Just last week, she woke up soaked from head to toe. There was no door, only an old torn cloth hanging loosely at the entrance. Halima was only 17 years old. She had lived alone since she was 8. That was the year her parents died. A sickness came suddenly and killed both of them within 3 days. She still remembered kneeling and crying, begging her father's brothers to take her in. They refused. "We have our own children," they said. Her mother's sisters also turned her away. So Halima stayed in that small hut alone, a little girl forced to raise herself. She owned only one wrapper. Just one. It was torn in many places. The color had faded after years of washing it in the river. The cloth was so thin that it barely protected her from cold nights. She never wore shoes. Her feet were always bare, full of cuts from stones and thorns. Her hands were rough and hard from carrying firewood every day. Her face was slim and tired-looking. Her cheeks were hollow, dark circles sat under her eyes. Every morning, she went into the forest early to gather firewood before others arrived. She worked for hours, tying the sticks together with rope and lifting the heavy bundle onto her head. Then she walked slowly to the market. The market was where her pain doubled. Children threw stones at her. "Orphan goat," they shouted. "Go away, you smell like poverty." Women chased her from their stalls. "Don't stand near me," they hissed. "You bring bad luck." Men laughed when she tried to sell her wood. "Who will buy from a cursed girl?" they mocked. "Your firewood will bring trouble." Most days she sold nothing. She walked back home with the same heavy load she brought. Tired, hungry, broken. But Halima had something the village could not see. She had a good heart. 1 week earlier, she found a stray dog by the road, thin and weak like herself. She had only one small piece of gari, her only food for that day. She broke it into 2 and gave half to the dog. 2 days ago, her neighbor, an old woman living 3 huts away, fell sick. Halima fetched water from the river for her and cooked soup, using the vegetables she had planned to eat later. Why did she help others when she had nothing? She didn't know. It just felt wrong not to help. The day before was the hardest of all. She worked from morning until night, gathered the biggest bundle of firewood she had ever carried, and went to the market with hope in her heart. Nobody bought anything, not one stick. As the sun set, she walked home slowly. Her eyes were blurry from hunger. Her legs felt like they would give way. When she reached her hut, she sat outside on the ground and cried quietly. Tears rolled down her sunken cheeks. I am so tired, she whispered to the dark sky. So hungry, so alone. Why am I still alive? After a while, she wiped her tears and stood up. She entered her broken hut and made a choice. Tomorrow, she will try again. She would not give up. Because giving up meant dying. Something inside her whispered, not yet, your time is not over. She lay down on her thin mat, held her empty stomach, and forced herself to sleep. Tomorrow, she would try again. The next evening, Halima was deep in the forest. She had worked all day. Her bundle of wood was ready, heavy and painful on her head. Her body begged for rest. She had not eaten again. 3 days without food. She just wanted to reach home and collapse. Maybe tomorrow would be better. Then she saw her. An old woman, very old, maybe over 70 years, bent low under a huge load of firewood. She stumbled and almost fell. The woman was walking north. Halima's hut was south, the opposite direction. Halima stopped, her legs shook. Her body screamed, keep walking. You can't help. But her heart said something else. She remembered her mother. How she suffered, how nobody helped. Halima closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and walked toward the woman. Mama, she said softly, let me help you. The woman turned. Her face was full of deep lines, but her eyes were gentle. You already have your own load, my child. I am young. I am strong, Halima lied. She wasn't strong, she was barely alive. She dropped her own bundle, lifted half of the woman's wood, and added it to her head. Her legs almost failed her. Where do you live, Mama? Just along the path, the woman said. It was far, very far. They walked for over an hour. Halima's vision darkened, sweat poured down her face. She wanted to stop, but she didn't. Finally, they reached a small compound surrounded by trees. Halima dropped the wood and collapsed to her knees. The old woman rushed to her. You have nothing, she whispered after looking closely at Halima. You are starving, yet you helped me. The woman brought food, yam sauce, and begged her to eat. Halima ate with shaking hands. The food felt like life itself. Then the woman returned with a wrapped cloth. Inside was a necklace, old. Beautiful, the pendant glowed softly. Take it, the woman said. Halima refused at first, but the woman insisted. This is for your kindness. Halima accepted it with tears. She wore it close to her chest and went home. That night, she slept with a smile for the first time in years. From that week onward, everything changed. People began buying her firewood. She got work on a farm, then work in the village head's house. Then land, then business. Within 1 year, Halima became the richest woman in Ghanaian Tory village. But she never forgot who she was. She built a home for orphans. She fixed her old hut so she would remember her past. She helped everyone. When she went back to find the old woman, the compound was empty. No one had lived there for many years. At the orphanage opening, the old woman appeared again, glowing, smiling. And Halima finally understood. One act of kindness can change a life forever. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, please like, comment, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us keep bringing amazing stories just like this. Until the next story, please stay safe and stay prayerful. I love you all.